into my flow. It's a dancing warrior flowing sequence. My name is Eileen, and I'd like to welcome you all to join me in this sequence. It's done together in Tadasana, lifting up the toes, pressing the big toes together, heels together, lifting up out of the knees, engaging the thighs, tucking under the tailbone as you lift up out of the hips, pressing the shoulders down away from the ears, elongating the spine, reaching the crown of the head up to the universe. In our Tadasana mountain pose, we feel the benefits of the earth as well as the benefits from the universe. As we reach tall, breathing deeply, start with a very deep breath into the lower belly. You may close down your eyes as you visualize the breath into the lower belly, drawing the breath up into the ribs, up to the chest and the collarbones as you widen the collarbones. And as you breathe out through the nose, deflating the chest, deflating the ribs, deflating the lower belly. Continue breathing this way as you take a few breaths to really ground down into your mountain pose. And opening up the eyes, bring your hands together, palms touching at the heart center. As you breathe in, you'll swing the arms up high, reaching up to the fingers, up to the ceiling, eyes following the hands, and big arm circles down. Bring them up through the center and out, stretching the fingertips out to the outside wall as we breathe in and breathe out. In and out. And one more as we stretch the fingers up, breathing deep, taking the fingers out to the side wall. Bring the hands back to the heart center. And we'll swing the arms out and reaching up high. This time we'll swan dive down into Uttanasana. Forehead to the knees. And as you breathe out, come up halfway to Ardha Uttanasana. And down to the floor as you place your hands into the mat, either step or jump back into plank. Holding the plank position for a moment, pulling in the tummy muscles, creating your upper body strength. And on the out breath, we'll move down into Chaturanga Dandasana and up and through into upward dog. Pulling back the shoulders, opening up the heart. Curl under the toes and push back into downward dog. Take a moment to align your dog, feet hip width apart, hands shoulder width apart. As you press the weight evenly between the feet and the hands, creating an A-frame with the body, and focus on your breath. One more breath. And bring the feet together at the back of the mat. As you swing the right leg high, keeping the hips facing to the mat, bending into the knee, and place the right foot through in front, in between the hands. Coming down into a low lunge, come up onto the fingertips, pressing down with that hip, down with the left hip. As you turn the left foot to a 90-degree angle, align the front heel with the arch of the back heel as we come up into Warrior Two. Bring the hands to the heart center, turning the shoulders and the hips to the long side of the mat. Be aware of the front knee, make sure that it's not splaying in or out. As you take a breath, grounding down the feet. And as you breathe out, we'll allow the arms to float up. Breathing in, we'll straighten the front leg and bring the hands back to the heart center. Breathe out and flow forward into Virabhadrasana 2. And bring the hands back with the straight leg. One more time, breathe out. And bring them back together. One more time as we breathe out. This time we'll hold Warrior 2 position. Allow the shoulders to drop away from the ears, tuck under the tailbone. Lifting up out of the hips with a nice long spine. And breathe with steadiness and ease, glancing over the middle fingers. And keeping the feet exactly as they are, flip the front palm and we'll drop the left hand down the back into palms of Virabhadrasana. Intense side stretch. Breathe and release into the muscles. And on the next out breath, come back into Warrior 2. Straighten the front leg as we cut back with the hip and move down into Trikonasana, bringing the hand to the thigh, shin, or down to the floor. As you breathe out, opening up the chest, activating all the meridians. As you stretch the fingertips up to the ceiling. You may look straight ahead, or if the neck allows, looking up to the ceiling. Slight bend into the front knee as we come back into Virabhadrasana 2. Bringing the left hand round to meet the right. Curling over the back toes, and we'll come back into low lunge, taking the hands down into the floor and step back into plank. As we come through the Vinyasa, down into Chaturanga, up into up dog, curling under the toes and back to downward dog. Take 2 breaths here. In downward dog, our resting pose. Opening up the shoulders by turning at the triceps to the outside walls. Bring the feet together at the back of the mat, and we'll allow the left leg to swing up high and squeeze it into the chest as you place the left foot in between the hands. Drop the right foot to the 90-degree angle and again come up into Virabhadrasana 2 with the hands at the heart center. Aligning the shoulders and the hips to the long side of the mat. Breathe out and we'll bring the hands out. And breathe in, bring the hands and straighten. Out as you flow. Feel the meditative movements as you move into Virabhadrasana 2. And this time we'll hold the pose, turning the eyes over the front fingertips. Practicing with steadiness and ease. Feel the stillness in your pose. Feel the strength of the warrior. As we flip the front palm and bring the right hand down the leg and bending over on a side stretch. Keep the knees still bent on the front leg. Don't move the legs. Breathe out and we'll come back into Warrior 2. And the next out breath, straighten the front leg, cut back with the hips as we come down into Trikonasana. Pressing the feet into the earth, opening up all the meridians, turning the heart up to the ceiling as we open up the heart chakra. Slight bend into the front knee as we come back into Warrior 2. Bring the right hand round to meet the left and down onto the floor. As we step back into plank and come down the Vinyasa. And up into upward dog. And you may step or jump your feet to meet the hands. As we come forward into Uttanasana and big arm circles as we reach up and hands One breath here as you ground down with the feet. Big arm circles up as we swan dive down into forward fold. Coming up halfway to Ardha Uttanasana as we step back and jump back into plank. Come down the Vinyasa and push back into downward dog. Take one breath here. As you bring the feet together at the back of the mat, we'll take the right foot high, squeezing the knee into the chest as you come through, and place the right foot in front, in between the hands. Turn the back foot at a 45-degree angle as you trace the fingers along the mat, and we'll come up into Warrior One. Have a heel to heel alignment, and the back toes turn towards the corner of your mat. Reach up with the fingers, looking up if the neck allows for inspiration. Pressing that front foot into the mat, opening up the liver meridian. And as you breathe out, we'll swing the hands down as we come into Padmasana. Bring the hands forward, turning the fingers towards the back. Bring the chest down onto the leg. Eyes looking towards the toes. Pushing the right hip back as you pull the left hip forward. One more breath. Feel the intense stretch in the back of the leg and the hamstrings of the right leg. Slight bend in the front knee as you trace the fingers along the mat, and we'll come back into Warrior One. Keeping the arms in line with the ears, move the back foot slightly in as we're going to move into Warrior Three. As you take the weight into the front leg, just allow that left leg to gently float up, pulling in the thigh, using the core muscles. Press back with the left heel and release it down to the mat, back into Warrior One. Bring the hands down to frame the front foot as we step back into plank. Breathe out, come down into Chaturanga, up into Upward Dog, and back into Downward Dog. One breath here. Feeling the benefits of the A-frame Downward Dog. Bring the feet together at the back of the mat. Swing the left leg high. As you look up towards the hands, bring it through. Placing the left foot in between the hands. As you drop the right foot to 45-degree angle, bend into the front knee and bring the fingers up. Virabhadrasana One. Lift up out of the hips. Draw the shoulder blades down the back, pressing the back foot into the earth, opening up the gallbladder meridian. As you breathe out, straighten the front leg, allow the hands to come down into our intense side stretch. Pushing back with the left hip, stretching back with the fingertips, relaxing the head and neck as you look towards the toes. Breathe deeply into the back of the hamstring of the left leg. Slight bend into the front knee as we come back into Virabhadrasana One. Lifting up out of the tailbone. And again, we'll take the weight onto the left leg. Allow the right leg to just float up. Strengthen the legs and the ankles, pull in the core muscle, and release it down. Back into Warrior One. Bring the hands down to either side of the foot, and we'll step back into plank. Come through the Vinyasa. And step or jump the hands towards the feet. And big arm circles up As you bring the hands down into the heart center, closing down the eyes for a moment, pressing the thumbs into the sternum, connecting with your heartbeat, connecting body, breath, and soul. Thank you for being with me.